it seems like as much technology as we keep getting, the worse it gets once in a way. We were facing a few audio glitches, but all of that's been resolved now, and so we're going to get back into the action. Right, apologize to our viewers for that little bit of a glitch. And for those of you who are just joining us, we're going to take the action right from the top of this final table. And of course, giving me company and commenting on this final table of the FTS Kickoff event is the very fun Sam Razavi, who's joining us all the way from the UK. Sam, welcome to the live stream. And our other co-commentator who joins us is also someone who's done a number of noteworthy things, both online and in the live sphere of things as far as poker is concerned. She's also the winner of the President's Award. It's my pleasure to welcome Muskan Sethi to this live stream. Muskan, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome back, both of you.
It made it interesting a few minutes, but I think we finally resolved all the issues that we've got. Let me quickly run you through what we're going to be looking at now. This is the final table of the 75 lakh guaranteed kickoff event of the FTS 2.0 series. And leading the pack at 27, that's Prakhar Kapoor, the highest stack of them all, 2.59 million in chips. But he's very, very closely followed by Arjun Agarwal, who's got 2.57 million in chips. Right at the bottom of the counts is, well, the interestingly named Mahi Marega. We should find out what the origin story of that username is. And that's Pulkit Mehra, who's got a stack of just over 700,000. He's the short stack, but he'll be looking to make a dent of it. And he picks up Jack 7 offsuit in this particular hand as we kick off the proceedings.
Yeah. And cold from the small.
Well, pocket ace is right off for Super Kings. That's Gokul Raj. It's always a nice place to be in the short stack and getting big hands like that. So I'm sure he'll be glad. Unfortunately, I think he's not going to get too much love here for those bullets.
Yeah, I was reading him last night. I saw him knock out a potato player, so he really, did some work to get here. And he was, following his pre-game routine today, and did some workout and did some meditation before the final table started. So he was just hoping for a quick double up. I guess this one will be just a chip up.
Yeah, he's going to pick up a few chips.
Double up, who knows?
Yeah. Unless someone decides to get really crazy, I don't think the double up is coming his way. But given that he's one of the shorter stacks, he'll be happy to pick up the few chips that he does pick up in this hand.
Yeah, I said this in the stream last time when it got interrupted, that the player to watch out would be Amit More. How do you pronounce his ID?
No one knows, Muskan. No one knows. We are all struggling with these usernames from the last FTS to this one. But I think it's Timirom. Timirom. I guess that's the closest that I can think of. But yeah, he's your basic dark horse pick, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're going to see some really unconventional stuff from him because he's someone who's just started playing and he takes some exploitative lines. So I guess, and he's not scared to, hold his own. So you're going to just expect some nice bluffs and big plays. I guess Mozzie's going to open this up. Sam, what were you saying about this hand in the last time? You said something about you.
Yeah, I was saying it's kind of an awkward stack size because it seems a bit reckless if you were to just open shit from the button. But given ICM, you really raise call off 20 bigs with sixes when like ace 4, ace 5 just jams on you from the big. So I'm not against just getting it in on the button as opposed to putting a couple of big blinds at risk. I don't know what you think of that. If you think it's on the cusp, we've got slightly too many big blinds.
Yeah.
I guess if we, yeah.
No, I guess, these guys are shoving very few hands. I mean, at least from the button, and unless they're under 15 big blinds, I don't see these big pros, top pros, putting their tournament life at risk, especially when there are shorter stacks on the table. So, according to me, Mozzie is such a player that, I mean, he would open and then probably fold, to a jam. That's what I expect from these players, but obviously sometimes they call off. But it's just like a tester kind of thing also.
Yeah, I guess if he's played with Enkush, I guess
He's played a bunch with Lol this guy. Lol this guy is Arjun Pasricha, a very well-known name in the poker industry. And both these players are like, Mozzie comes from a BBZ background. Lol this guy comes from a BITS-B staking background. All these guys have studied so much that, I mean, he's going to be a bit conscious of Arjun, definitely.
Well, our team has just informed us that that very interesting name that Timarom has got is actually Amit More backwards. I did not see that, but that's what it is. So very clever, Amit, very clever. It took me at least a second to figure that out, and that too after being prodded by production. So yeah, thanks for not making our job all that easy. But yeah, Timarom right there, that's Muskan's dark horse pick as far as this final table is concerned. But not really picking up very hot hands at the moment.
Yeah. Sam, I'll tell you something so interesting about Lol, this guy. He went to sleep with 15 big blinds when there were 40 people left. And then he woke up with 1.5 big blinds when there were 25 people left. And so, this is crazy, right?
That's
and he's managed to run back up.
Can I say, Arjun Pasricha, your nick is so on point at this point, given Muskan's story about this. Lol, this guy totally makes sense right now.
I've fallen asleep so many times after I've been playing in tournaments, but I never wake up with chips left. I just see the screen that says, you finished in XXX place, and then I just go back to sleep. Yeah, so many times it's happened to me.
But you remember, like, that's the reason why I guess you also, the first tip you gave to the players was, like, be well rested. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's because, and that's what I was talking about as well with playing these long sessions. All the good sessions start late in the UK, and I just got to a point where I couldn't stay up all night. I mean, I'd run quite deep, but not deep enough, and I just fall asleep. So
yeah,
it wasn't for me.
This is that hand, Sam, where you found this call very tricky on the button.
Yeah, I mean, playing around 14 big blinds, facing a raise under the gun, King 10 even suited as, one of the hands you really don't want to play because you're so likely to be dominated that. I don't understand. But you did say that we're going to see some unconventional lines from this player. So yeah.
I'm just thinking they realize that okay, I'm in position and I'm going to exploit this. That's what's really happening. They are calling off.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, yes, you can exploit when a flop comes like this. When a flop comes king high, it's reverse exploitation, I guess, because you're going to probably ship your chips that way. I mean, I wouldn't play this at the best of times from the button, let alone under the gun with that shorter stack. You just don't have the room to maneuver your stack and get tricky down the lines. But this proved me wrong and managed to get the best hand to fold.
And it seems he's almost been rewarded by a pretty good holding in this next hand with the ace-queen offsuit. We should see some more push happening. Unless, of course, I'll let the hand speak for itself because we've already seen this one not too long And there you have it. The ace queen folded by Amit More Timuron, and we suspect that it's a misclick. And that hard with the king 10 of spades, it seems highly unlikely that anything other than a misclick would have made him fold a hand like ace queen.
Yeah, I think he likes to win. If he's going to win, he's going to win the hard way. You know, uphill the king 10 from the button, from the under the gun raise. Ace queen? No, thank you.
That's
no,
fine.
Thank you.
I can live without that.
Yeah, probably a misclick there.
So Arjun Agarwal, he came third in the Spartan High Roller for 10 lakhs, and he's from New Delhi. Do we know more about him, Peter?
No, that's as much information as I have as well. But
Yeah,
given the
but
fact that
maybe
he's already run deep in a tournament like the High Roller, so he has that final table experience, and the High Rollers are generally big buy-in tournaments, as is this one, which is an intermediate sort of level of buy-in. So the experience is there, and certainly yesterday, I beg your pardon, earlier in the show when we were speaking to Sagar Chaudhary, he mentioned the fact that Arjun Agarwal is one of those really aggressive kind of players. So I think we should see some interesting stuff from the guy who was second in chips when we started off.
Mm-hmm. And even this Prakhar Kapoor, the Prakh 27, he's also somebody who's taken on 2 IOPC titles. So we're going to see a strong end game from him as well.
Yeah, I think Sam also had mentioned this earlier, that it's the nature of the chip leaders to try and make sure that they are the captains on the table as far as possible. So I think Sam, they should follow that line through and through as far as their chip stack allows it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think just in general, whenever you've got that advantage and you've got the chips, regardless, I think you have to start pressurizing, and you can always adjust based on, if people start playing back at you, or, whatever dynamics sort of evolve on the table. But yeah, once you've got the chips, you've just got to start, taking the bull by the horns.
And also, Sam, one question I get a lot. I mean, there's a hand going on here. Do you want to talk about this open, or do you prefer Arjun just jamming here pre?
Yeah, I think I prefer a jam or a fold, to be honest. It's quite early, and again, you're gonna raise ball off 7. Probably not. Maybe. I mean, I'm not as experienced these days online, I guess.
Well, let's hope there's no misclick happening on this one.
Yeah. But the sad thing is, no one else has a hand. I would be happy to see someone pick up pocket tens.
No, don't say that, Muskan. Don't say that, because we've 40 minutes. So Sam and I are certainly hoping that this goes on a little bit more than that, so that we have something to sort of justify this live stream and maybe talk some more with both of you all.
So Sam, talking about what Arjun did there, he also is somebody who studies ICM a lot. He's somebody who goes over a lot of the HRC sims and stuff. So, it'd be interesting to somebody ask him, why he did something like that there. Maybe it's because of Mahe, who's super short. The one in small. It's going to be an interesting, answer, whatever he gives us.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he says with that. I mean, it's only been a few hands in, but it seems quite sort of straightforward, apart from Timuron's sort of... did Mozzie just leave the turn there?
Yeah, I think Timuron's not that anyone else can see his hands, but I think he's done enough in that one hand to sort of everyone just breathe easy for the next 15, 20 hands maybe.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful river from Mozzie.
Fantastic river card. Wow, that was a snap call.
Yeah.
You have to be able to...
Boy, the poker gods are really being kind. The poker gods are really being kind to Timuron, considering he's just got 3 or 4 hands, pretty premium hands in a row now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling after losing that hand as well, I think if I'm in his spot, I'd probably look at this and think the blinds are coming round. It's a tough one, but
yeah.
just going to jam this.
Wow.
I don't understand what's going on.
All right.
He wants to play with the boys. He wants to join the party, I guess.
Is Amit somewhere here? I mean, I think he's hearing us doing commentary and playing just against all of what we're expecting here.
Don't worry, Amit. You're perfect. You're fine.
I mean, I was going to say, if I'm in like Mozzie's position, this is probably something you can take advantage of, but just given Timuron's flattered behind with only 10 bigs, I really think he's setting chips on fire with the King Deuce. I mean, might see it.
But Sam, could it be that he's played so much with these guys that he just understands that, this is going to work? Like, it's. I mean, if this guy Ankush, is like limps a lot, and he's seen this happen a lot, and he understands that, Amit More is also a crazy person.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The only thing is, if Timuron was sat with like 20 odd bigs,
wow.
Well, he
It's just insane.
I mean, this would be great to check behind now. You've smashed the flop so hard.
Maybe Sam, this is how he got here, right? Like, I mean, everyone has to they have to embrace their own game, and I love the fact that he's so sticky.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Timuron's getting cute now.
This is going to be really...
This is going to be painful. I think just watching this.
I think Prakh's going to shove, expecting Timuron to call, and now Timuron's just going to have to fold.
So, great hand, Prakhar Kapoor. I mean, to be honest, to pick up chips in that spot, that was interesting.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I love the play. I would have just been very wary about the, Timuron being so short. I would have loved it if he was also like 20 bigs or whatever. But maybe, like you said, they played together, and he probably knows that Timuron. Sometimes when you've got a player that's has that tendency to peel a lot, then Pratt probably knew that's what he's aiming for, to get a heads up. Then, oh wow, look at this!
Insane.
I mean, this money could.
Yeah, and Ace Queen obviously is still very happy with their hand here, right? They're like, okay, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if Pratt bets out, because we've seen, I saw earlier, he might bet, quite big on.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I thought.
And this is like the most basic. We can watch like millions of hands. Like the most basic spot is the big blind defense. Somebody opens and then big blind defense checks, goes back to the initial raiser, and something like this happens.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, I guess Pratt's probably got no reason to bet. So no need to sort of bluff the river because he's picked up there anyway. So.
See, I told you this guy's end game is going to be, because he's so good with finishing, and kind of taking it there. He's just turned the things around in his favor by showing aggression in one or two spots. And I guess this is how, you take lead. Whereas even other players are playing super conscious, and especially Gaurav Sood and Arjun are going to look for a nice double ups, and Gokul as well. They really understand the value of larging up here, and it's such a soft field for them that they would like to be in top 3 and then probably fight it out there.
Well, pocket jacks pretty much getting the treatment that we usually see it getting. No love on the flop there for the jacks. And I think that should be the...
Sorry, Prakhar.
Wow.
Oh, Queen Ace 7 needed. Oh,
Wow.
he actually called.
Yeah, and I think
Really?
we should get away from this now. I know you guys will be
Yeah.
like, that's crazy, look at the pot odds, this, that, but like, I just,
Yeah, it's thinking if the chance of a full house to me today, I would be quite surprised.
Oh, and he makes the call.
And Timuron doesn't know it, but he's actually chopping the pot. He's probably thinking, well, that's it, I'm done.
I think the people in Prac 27's house need to be careful about the electronics and the screen around him after the end of this hand. Something's going smashing.
Yeah, this just stinks of value. I mean, the only way is by playing back, which I'd be thinking I'm up against the house here. It's such a small bet. Maybe crack four. I don't know what he thinks. Enkush has got the nut flush draw, and he's trying to, buy him off because A5 has some showdown value again. In the Marom, but Marom's got back in the game, and I think those jacks could have got away on the flop.
I just hope there's no audio disturbance right now. If the team can check, because I heard Sam echo right now for a bit. So I'm scared like the same thing shouldn't happen what happened last time. You can hear me clear, right?
Yep, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, chat, I have a task for you guys. I'm seriously distracted by Super King's display picture and I cannot recognize who's that guy with him. Please help us if you can. If you know who that could be, a cricketer, could be a poker player, could be his best friend from uni. I don't understand, Gokul. Why would you? Is he a lucky charm? And obviously, Arjun has his rescue dog in his display picture. That's the dog he first fostered and then, adopted. Yeah. And sorry, Mozi, this was supposed to be your only free Monday. Because I think that's the only time when Gaurav Sood takes a break, but he's again on the final table, so congratulations and a sick continue to the great run, He's... Okay, this is interesting, Sam.
All right, we're going to be taking Sam for a few minutes off the stream just to fix some audio issues that we're getting from that end. He will join us shortly. In the meantime, the action continues at the 75 lakh guaranteed FTS Kickoff tournament. We've got a whole bunch of hands that have already taken place. And
Pulkit Mehra just doubled up.
Yep. The former chip leaders in Prac 27 and Arjun Agarwal are now towards the middle. And Enkush, I beg your pardon, who was the third in chips when we began this final table, is now got the biggest stack, little over 3.2 million. And he's followed by Mozi 17 stack of 2.8.
Yeah, hey Sam.
Yeah.
Karan here.
Hi.
Oh, so what's happening is experiencing a lot of distortion coming from your side.
Okay.
Can you mute your mic?
Well, ace jacks
At the moment.
and pocket queens in the mix.
Yeah.
You think Gokul's going to put it in there, Muskan?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be super tricky for Gokul right now. That's what I was wondering because of...
The stacks are very, very
No,
kind of a stack at this moment.
Peter, can you hear Sam?
No, he's being taken off the audio because they're just trying to fix a glitch that he's facing. It's just the two of us on the stream.
Hmm? Wow.
And there you have it. An all-in from Arjun Agarwal.
Yes.
Mahi, tujhe marenge agar ye call kiya to. And of course, he folds sensibly like he should. And the other ace jack gets out of the way.
Oh,
And pocket
well played,
queens
Gokul.
holds up. And there's our first elimination of this FTS. Quite a few hands into the final table, actually. Given our past track record with these FTS final tables, this one took us a while to see the first casualty. That's Gokul Raj, who's the first elimination of this final table. Gokul will take home 1,60,000 for his efforts and that 8th place finish, down to 7. And remember, the winner not only gets 14-something lakhs up top, but they also get a game face mask and a special gift hamper. And not to forget Sam Razavi's absolute favorite, the Gold Medallion, the 18-carat Gold Medallion that's coming the way of the winner of this tournament. And let's not forget, there are leaderboard points also at stake. 30 lakhs on the FTS leaderboard to play for. Top 10 on the leaderboard, get a share of that 30 lakhs. And there's 10 lakhs for the winner of the leaderboard. So much, much more in play than just these prizes associated with the win. As we see another pair for Arjun Agarwal. It's nice to be in this position, I'm sure, with that pocket threes that he's holding.
This is, makes sense. So if we've been watching Arjun open like quite wide, Arjun Agarwal here. And Mozzie has already picked up on that. And so obviously, that was...
Yeah, it was a good place for him to sort of take a stand and yeah, he picked up some chips because of it.
Yes, and because he has a suited ace, I mean, less likely that Arjun has any other big, premium aces.
Well, there's a lot of garbage around the table at the moment. Anyone who shows even the little bit of aggression on this one, and as I say it, Mozzie 17 chooses to do that with 2-5 of diamonds, and he's probably going to pick up this spot unless Enkush decides that they want to try and get a little funny here. Did I say funny? I meant cute.
Yeah, cute. Sorry, I like that when you were talking about Timuron also.
Timuron, aka Amit More in the reverse.
I like his name more than his ID, Amit More. Sounds.
I need some more chips right now from this final table. I don't know why I'm talking like a Jamaican, but whatever. Let's just put it down to one of those.
Yeah, we never seen you like this.
I'm always goofy on a live stream because clearly I don't know enough about the sport, so I might as well entertain our viewers with all sorts of other stuff besides the poker. I'll leave that to the specialists like you, Muskan, and of course Sam. We're still waiting for him to get back to us on this live stream, but soon enough. Very clever, Enkush, very clever.
Yes.
With that 10 deuce off the Doyle Brunson, and it's come once again for him. I'm guessing he might choose to not get too creative this time around.
Yeah, I was hoping Mozzie opens this, and he did. Yes, he's going to try and maintain the aggression on the table, and he just needs any two cards with a little bit equity also, and he's going to open them. And we will see him continue here.
All right, for our viewers who are just joining us on this broadcast, what the hell took you so long? Myself, Muskan, Sam, from different parts of the world, the country, have brought this action to you. And in case you've just joined us, we've already had the first casualty of this final table, and that was Gokul Raj playing as Super Kings, who busted in 8th place for 1,60,000 in prize money.
And Mozzie gets a walk and some respect, like he should.
Yeah, I think these guys have played enough with each other to realize that, no one's going to mess about too much. Muskan, I think that, I don't care what everyone says about these guys being pros and they've been there, they've done that. I'm sure it plays just a tiny bit of a role also in making sure that, no one gets too goofy with the kind of cards that they play here.
Yeah. Also, like Sam said, that this is the perfect time to do advertising as well. Like if you want to get action in your games, this is the time where you can show some funky stuff and get away with your nittiness later.
Yep. The loosey-gooseys have the the floor, and Kush picking up a nice pair of pocket kings, and sure enough, pops it up to 2.4.
Yeah, and if this hand will be defended.
Yeah, I don't think Mozzie's going anywhere, given that he's also now got a fairly good stack. The chip leader, in fact. Wow. that was a misclick, if I can call it that, of epic proportions.
What?
And
Are
Kush
you thinking
is
about
really
this?
thinking about this. Hey man, I don't know poker all that well, but I'd click that call button so hard right now. And Kush, come on.
Are you seriously gonna fold this hand?
Please tell me this is an internet-related issue.
No, he's really giving it a thought, bro.
Wow.
He's like, only aces can do this to me. Maybe that voice in his head.
Yeah.
But you gotta call this because Gaurav Sood is capable of, jamming so many hands there.
Yeah, but with pocket kings, I would think that, I mean, just
Especially
because
when
he's...
you have, yes, I totally agree. Even if you had to fold pocket nines here, he could have done that.
Yeah.
But like, I guess aces, kings is just, kings and queens is like really hard to kind of let go. Even ace king suited for that matter. I just feel I'm going to have a very hard time folding that. This hand should get Arjun a double up. Let's go. Nice one.
Well, the pocket
Pasricha
nine's
from
holding
1
up.
point.
Yeah, from post-sleep 1 point whatever blinds to now being at this final table with a little over 2.3 million. That nap must have been quite refreshing, I must say.
No, seriously, I don't think Ankush has played with Gaurav Sood before or much, and I guess that's the reason why he's done this, why he folded kings there, because he I guess, or maybe he's overthinking ICM too much right now, because he understands that if he busts out right now, he's just that was bizarre actually, but it does make you lose a lot of money in the long run if you fold such big hands. But that's fine,
Yeah.
Ankush. You're getting there. You're going to study. At least there is a reasoning behind. And I'm sure you can discuss that with your coaches or your friends and you can talk more about that hand. In fact, reach out to Gaurav Sood and ask him what he thinks about that. He's going to...
I'm sure he'll give you a piece of his mind, and thank you for not having gone ahead with that. I remember, a couple of players when at the last IPC that we had, and it was a similar situation. The player did throw up an ace something hand which was suited, and again pocket kings and queens had folded in front of him, and they were just like, listen, I'm not good enough to fold queens or kings or something like that in a spot like that. So and Kush exhibiting some serious self-control, I'm guessing here.
Of course, like folding kings, man, you need some discipline. I don't know what. Like even if you're right, you need some discipline to do that. I don't know. You need some mad information, like a tell or a read to do
Like
that.
some Jedi situation. Well, let's take a look at the payouts that all of these people are battling for. The payouts that is there for this kickoff event right up top is, of course, that 14.39 lakhs that the winner gets. And remember that it's not just the prize money. There's a whole lot of other things that are coming the way of the winner. And everyone, of course, at this final table will get some of those FTS leaderboard points. And that is worth a value of 30 lakhs. The winner of that leaderboard getting 10 lakhs up top. So these players are going to keep all of these things in mind whenever they're playing at this final table. Not just about the cards. It's also about the entire series, the money that's at stake, not only in the prize pool, but also on the leaderboard front as well.
Oh, Peter, you won't believe it. Like, leaderboard is another game altogether. There's so many regs who play all the tournaments, and they actually take that so seriously. And if you are planning to go for the leaderboard, make sure you have a pre-planned schedule and just crush it, and just have it planned. Just don't be a zombie and play 24/7.
You got to be, absolutely aware of where you want to be heading. But I've seen that a lot, Muskan. I've seen a lot of players who have grinded events so hard. They don't really score that many titles, but they end up doing extremely well on the leaderboard, and that's a hefty prize to win. And clearly, Mozzie 17 is getting the way with just a min race in this spot.
Yes, Arjun had to fold Surya race here. I'm sure, he has so many people behind. He prefers to fold there.
And once more, there's nice round of garbage at this table. Well, Mai Marega, of course, is the latest casualty, finishing up in 7th place for a payout of 2.31 lakhs. We're down to 6 players here at this FTS table. Pocket aces and some bullets for Arjun Agarwal, who's also AA, by the way. So yeah, it's nice to go with that little happy coincidence there. Lol, this guy with 9-10 of clubs. I'd really like to see him play through on this hand. I would really like to see him play through on this hand.
Oh, now it's going to be interesting.
Yes, Amit is feeling left out. Timarom, Amit More. He's like, enough is enough.
He doesn't want that Arjun Pasricha should get a free walk. So he's like, I'm going to fight it out.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Amit, man, what have you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today? Because, man, that was some kind of Jedi mind trick that happened right there. A beautiful flop for the 5-6 off of Timarom, who makes that straight on the flop.
And leaves the commentator speechless.
Yeah. And just like that, folks, Amit More, who was on the lower end of the counts, has now jumped up to 2.7 million. And the good news keeps getting better with Ace King of Diamonds. Hopefully no misclick this time, my friend. And wow, he's really playing it completely unexpectedly. Muskan, I think you just called it so right at the top of the broadcast when you said that this guy is not going to play conventional. And it clearly shows in some of the hands that he's played. All of the really exciting hands, he's been a part of most of them. So I think we should
Luckily,
have some more
Prakhar Kapoor got away from this one because I really think he was planning to jam here. But, okay, good decision.
Yeah, he won't be too unhappy about that.
Wow. Again, Arjun Pasricha gets that.
Lol, this guy keeps hitting them as and when. And boy, that river card.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get paid.
Yeah, Amit is... Amit has surprised us in the past. There's every chance. Well, and
What?
there he goes. There he
That's
goes.
insane.
I would be really surprised if this guy does not make heads up tonight. The way he's going. And pocket fours, yet another pair, in the follow-up hand. This is quite crazy. My brain would be exploding if I was in Amit's shoes right now.
I'm gonna mark him tonight. Like I'm gonna watch out for him to come on my tables. He's gonna make us have fun, unless he's clearly advertising. But it's fun because of him. I think this final tables become fun.
Yeah, we've seen some excellent hands that have taken place with Amit More being part of them. Timarom as he's sitting on that seat there in the big blind. Pocket fours. Well, it's a nice enough flop for Timarom. Although Lol, this guy has got a piece of that, but all those spades might not make him feel all that happy. King's up for Lol, this guy, but a fourth spade there, which means that Timarom has now got the flush. And it's going to take a really nice river card for Lol, this guy to win this spot.
And okay, exactly. So in this hand, Arjun is really just obviously trying to bluff. And even if his opponent has spade, he really hopes them to fold here or be ICM aware, since Arjun is so short and Prak 27, right? And I feel like this can get dirty. because
The way Tiburon has been playing so far, I'm guessing anything could be possible with the way he's been going about it.
Because with his bigger speeds, Arjun expects him to raise, on the flop or at some point, and now, Arjun just thinks he has exactly. Wow, Peter.
I don't know what happens in the course of the next whatever amount of time this final table goes on, but man, you have impressed the hell out of me at least. I'm sure you've left Muskan fairly stunned as well with some of those plays, but I'm really missing Sam here because he would have been just boggled at some of these plays that Amit has been making.
That was interesting. GG, Arjun Pasricha, well played. I guess this was just a warm-up for these boys. Gokul and Arjun, we're going to see more of them, in these coming streams. Just how they play and...
Yep. And with that, we've lost one more player at this final table. That's this guy, Arjun Pasricha, who's taken home that 6th place prize of 3.1 lakhs. Not bad for someone who slept his way through to 1.5 blinds and then made sure he grounded all the way back to the final table. And so that 6th place prize going the way of Arjun Pasricha. And remember, Arjun was the winner of the FTS 1.0 edition's main event. So a lot of experience. And as Muskan says, it's about getting that warm-up in the right way. A final table always helps at the start of the series. A title would have been better, I'm sure. But not bad at all getting some of the... getting a part of some of the bigger payouts in the course of this FT.
Yeah, this hand should be a standard one. Mozzie's going to fold this. And hopefully now, the guys who are looking to get a double Arjun is really short. Arjun Agarwal.
He's gonna have to do some serious work to get himself up there. Prak not too far behind. Prak 27. That's Prakhar Kapoor, our former chip leader when this final table started. From 2.5 million in chips, he's now down to 1.3 million. And those blinds, they're getting right up there. It's getting to be expensive to play poker.
If he has 2 IOPC titles, how come only one is showing?
There's not much space there to work with, Muskan. I think the biggest win within those 2 titles is probably what that icon represents. But yes, Prak 27 has won 2 of those titles, and it's a good place for him to be in, jamming with his 1.3 million stack with pocket tens.
Yes, and he's going to pick up some chips, much needed, just to stay a little bit out of the danger zone, but he's still in one. He's finally...
And it's a good opportunity at that point because he was big blind in this hand, and so it's a nice time to pick up chips. Also picking up another nice hand here with the ace-queen of suit.
Yeah.
Might get some fun. Yep, there we go. Mozzie 17 decides to come along for the ride, popping it up to 3.2.
Mozzie's going to fold this. I'm going to be super... I'll get another shock if Mozzie also calls this. Even though... Okay. Shh, Musku. Okay, thank God.
There we go.
I'm
Just let us sweat for a little bit.
Imagine if he calls and all the boys are like, Musku, you're so tight. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Fold King Jack there? Okay.
And Arjun Agarwal happy to pick up that ace queen.
Yeah, Arjun has been getting all these sneaky double ups, just in time.
Yeah, so just allowing him to hang in there. It's not a very happy stack that he has, but as long as he's there, he can make sure that he gets grab some more.
Yeah, in it to win it,
Mm-hmm.
And also, some of these guys are actually, except Amit More and this Ankush, these are 2 new names to me. I haven't played with these guys. Maybe they've lately been putting a lot of volume, but yeah, it's interesting to see some new talent on the table. And
well, that flop doing nothing for no one, but we've got 3 people in it, so I wonder who's going to take that first shot.
I guess Prak. Oh, yeah.
Bit of a wet board there with 2 spades and 2 clubs. Both Arjun and Prak 27, that's Prakhar Kapoor, hitting their kings. Just remains to be seen who has the bigger heart here, I guess.
Yeah, I
Literally
guess
and
they both
figuratively.
will go that, yeah, they both are just gonna. They'll say it is what it is. Yeah, you have it, take it.
That's true. Like the
Hair to
famous.
hair.
Yeah, hai to hai. There's another ID. Hai to hai. If you're watching this stream, my friend, we miss you. We see that ID occasionally online. We hope to
Ten
see you
hair
on
to
these.
hair,
And
ace 10 hair. Le jao.
I like that. It's a very zen-like approach to the whole thing, but yeah, just fun and games here. But
I deserve it. If I didn't shove free, so it's okay.
fair enough.
Oh, I love Jack 10 suited.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite hands as well. आंसू आ गए आंख में Jack 10 देख के. But Black
he
27
folded.
deciding to fold. I mean, come on, man. We can't be talking up these hands and these players keep folding them.
Perfect time to do that. Ankush is going to be pretty tight, as if even he wants to ladder up, and
Yep.
now these boys are going to be super ICM. I mean, let's see the payouts again, Peter. I'm sure there would be is there a significant jump right now?
There is a fairly decent jump. We're just going to take a look at the end of this hand. I think there's, the ace-king takes it down for Arjun Agarwal. You're right, Muskan, he's just been getting hands at such good opportunities for him to just chip up a little bit and just hang in there. Just running you through the payouts once again. 5th place, that's the next player who busts out. He's going to go home with just under 4 lakh rupees, 3.95 to be precise. And 4th place gets 5.04 lakhs. 3rd place, 6.46 lakhs. And the top 2, that's 9 lakhs for the runner-up, and of course 14.39 lakhs for the winner. So yeah, there's fairly decent jumps in here, but I'm guessing a lot of these players are not as focused on that. Well, I'm sure as they get closer to the top 3 or 4, it'll matter a lot more. But at this point in time, I think for the next payout or 2, perhaps not that huge a factor in their decision making.
And to be honest, none of them are going to be open shoving here too much because of this dynamic right now. But everyone will try to take down hands without confrontation and showdown.
Now see, Amit, now that Muskan has put that statement out there, prove her wrong. Surprise us once again. Do that open shove. Make sure that we are once again holding our jaws off the floor. And Ankush getting a nice pocket pair with those 10s and bumping it up.
I'm never too happy defending my, the ace rags in the big blind.
It's not really a comfortable spot, even if getting an ace on the final table is, well, not even final table, it's down to 5. So an ace is always good, but...
Yeah. There's merit of calling and defending that hand, but like in full ring, in mid stages of the tournament, I don't think I ever defend, those ace rags there, unless they're suited.
Yep.
A few of those.
Ankush Agarwal, as we keep saying it.
I can hear some disturbance from your... Okay.
I think there's probably an overlap in the sound. And Ankush Agarwal takes down that pot with pocket kings. And from hanging in there, he's actually now built himself up to quite a decent stack, 2.8 million in chips. He's actually one of the top 3 stacks now. So
yeah, playing very solid.
Yeah, very, very cautious, very, very grounded sort of play.
Nice one.
Yep.
It's always so nice to steal pots that don't belong to you.
Yes, I think most poker players take that little extra amount of glee, when they score a win of really garbage cards. There's just something to. I mean, it's great. You play it the way you normally do, and you pull off a victory with semi-decent or decent hands. But that thrill that you get with doing a 7 deuce kind of a bluff, that's something particularly sweet. And Arjun Agarwal he's really raking those pocket pairs in there now. Queens this time for him. I think he's going to get some action.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I guess that was that was well played. Yeah.
That's the right way to go about it. Making sure he doesn't get any kind of crap that's going to go up against his queens.
Yes. And why would he make Mozzie realize his, equity? I mean, he has such a wide range of hands that he opens from there. So I guess
That
this
is
is the
true.
best way. And big blind, like usually it's like limp, 3x, or people are just jamming. Very rarely are you seeing somebody do a 2.5x or a 5x or it's quite interesting. And obviously it depends a lot on the stack sizes, but on final tables, that's like the most common thing you'll see. And even like these aces in early position are really important. So opening these has a lot of merit.
There's no such thing as commentator's curse in the poker scheme of things, because every time we've said something, players have done the exact opposite of that, and they've actually come up on top, winning those kind of pots and whatnot with these
especially
plays.
Amit.
Yeah, he's been really at it with those plays.
Yeah, he's doing opposite of whatever we are saying.
And it's done pretty well for himself. 3.4 million for Timarom, or Amit More, who's sitting there on the biggest, the second biggest stack, I should say, because Arjun Agarwal has almost sneakily got up to that chip leader mark with 3.7 in stacks behind him.
Don't we have a contest today, Peter?
I believe we do, but I've yet to receive information about that at the moment.
Yeah, I like contests. They're fun.
I think we're saving the contest for the streams that are coming up in the course of the remaining days. This one's just a warm up for us. We're probably going to do multiple contests in the course of the next week or so. There's lots of poker coming your way on the FTS series. If you're a player, and if you're a player/watcher, then yes, do join us for all of these live streams. Oh boy. And all of that hard work of Arjun Agarwal wiped out in the course of one hand.
Yeah.
And he's now back down to his original short stack, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of a mountain to climb. I'm so sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I was saying the good news is he's got some chips left. I actually thought he's busted.
Hey Arjun, take heart from the fact that, we had one player, lol, that guy. He's managed to ride his chip at a chair, so to speak, to that final table finish of, I believe, 6th place that he got knocked out in, or was it 7th? And
Peter, I'll tell you the right way to tell all this. It's like, this guy. I told somebody to make a video, just threatening him on one of these apps, and they were like, this guy. I was like, can you make a video? So it's so funny we do that to him now. Okay,
I really don't want to go there, but that should be an interesting heads up right there.
Ooh, more run like Mozzie. Run like Gaurav Sood.
Well, we didn't have an elimination a couple of hands ago, but this one we saw with the pocket nines not being able to hold up. And Gaurav Sood has really chipped up now with that elimination. And we've got our former chip leader who's now out of this final table. That's Prakhar Kapoor, who's playing as Prac 27. And he is out in 5th place. 3.95 lakh rupees is what he'll take home. Well played to Prac 27. And unfortunately close, but no cigar for that gentleman.
Oh, well played. That hand, a king 4, that was very interesting. King deuce, I guess.
Yeah.
Good. Or king 3, I don't remember.
That's
One
right.
of these.
Short-term memory. That's what helps us commentators keep it live and fresh every single time we come and talk to you on these live streams. It's always a good advantage to have. And finally, Timurom picks up a hand after a fair while.
Yes. Finally, he does the right thing. But anything he does is right only. There's no right.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Muskan. I mean, I don't think now that he's sitting on a stack like that and he's played his way all the way through till here, I'm not sure you and I can say anything more than what he's done. So, but Gaurav Sood with those newfound chips and with a nice suited ace-10, getting it up there.
Yeah. That's, again, if Sam was here, he would say something about the score in the button. Just considering Arjun is so short. But I guess, you can call once because they're so short-handed, right?
Yeah.
So he's blocking so many hands by having King Jack there. Some of these players just need a blocker. They don't even need a real hand.
Yeah. That's right. And I don't know if Enkush is really keen on seeing that fourth club there, but it is going to be an expensive proposition. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, and this is just getting started, Peter. And just see it was a fun FT today, but I'm waiting to see what goes on, when the price, everything is going to be higher.
Yeah.
The price and stakes are going to be high.
And as Muskan mentioned, those higher stake tournaments are, of course, the events like the main event, which will have a pretty big guarantee associated with it, 1 crore if I'm not wrong. And you've got a whole bunch of other tournaments as well in the course of this lineup. So yeah, final table series. Get yourself in one of these tournaments. If you make it to the final table, we'll make fun of you when you are on the live stream. And if you're anything like Timurom, then yeah, the kind of hands that you play might just make us speechless. And with that,
GG.
we have we've lost another player, the former chip leader, co-chip leader, I should say, Arjun Agarwal. He played really solid to get his stack up, to chip lead at one point again after losing a bunch of chips. But, well, as they say, the fat lady has sung for Arjun Agarwal and he is on his way out, finishing in 4th place for a nice sum of 5.04 lakhs.
That's very impressive. Well done, Arjun. So many Arjuns in the...
Yes, I was about to say there's a whole bunch of very similarly named individuals in the domestic scene. We're down now to the final 3. And Muskan, I mean, it's very interesting that we've got these 3 players or these 3 types of players. I think all of their approaches are significantly different from each other if what we've seen on this final table thus far is just any indication. So I think it should be an interesting 3-way situation that we are in for.
Absolutely, and obviously, no doubt, Gaurav Sood is the strongest player here. But these guys, if there's anybody who can, make him run for his money right now, is actually Amit More, someone maybe who's not had the similar results as him, but still has a heart to really, give him a fight and not be scared and not close up your chips. He's putting his chips to work, and that's how he's making all the big hands. And
absolutely, playing a very fearless brand of poker at the moment is Timurom. That's Amit More. But no joy on that particular hand for him as he loses a bunch of chips there. In fact, all of his chips.
Yeah.
And that's a little surprising. I didn't realize his chip stack was that much shorter. But Mozzie 17 marching into heads up against Enkush and with a very, very commanding lead at this point in time. You don't get to see this kind of lead very often in heads up. But here we are with him just under 10 million. And going up against Enkush's Jack 8 with his Ace 7.
Ooh.
Wow.
That call on the flop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure what was happening there.
I could have been a misclick.
यार अभी सब चीज को हम मिसक्लिक बोलेंगे तो कुछ मजा ही नहीं रहेगा to make fun of any of these players and their shall we say gently goof ups that have happened. But yeah, we'd be curious to see what happens here.
Wow.
Well, fair enough, Ankush. We're not going to speak anymore about our opinions on the way you've gone about it. Clearly, riding the wave is Ankush winning that pot there with the jack on the river. But Mozzie 17 picking up yet another pair, pocket sixes. And the computer hand for Ankush. Yeah. It's a 2-1 lead that Mozzie 17, that's Gaurav Sood, Ankush.
For me, heads up are so interesting because I just feel like players are not playing the cards; they just start playing the players.
Yeah.
Tendencies and what like they've been because it's like it's very easy for me to narrow down somebody's hand when it's four-handed or like a full ring, but like when it's heads up, like any you could have anything, both of you, right?
Yeah.
It's just a few things that you can tell that give away that okay, he should have. If he had that set of range, then he would have, done this on the flop. So these are a few things that those are the only things, the only info you have. And it's pretty interesting. See.
I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but back in the day when we had first started there was a time when we would ban any heads-up deals on the final table. Of course, players found their way around that, and you'd still have some kind of backdoor deals that were made, and so they'd go shove, and that would be the end of the tournament. But this is one of the reasons why, we thought heads-up, it should be played down to a legit thing there. Today, of course, I think you have like a trophy kept aside. You've got a certain percentage of the prize pool kept aside. So it's good that you see the finale being done in the right manner with a proper play down to the title. Well, are we seeing the end of the tournament in this hand?
Yeah, Mozzie should just get the rope to Ankush to bluff him off.
Let him hang himself, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten sweeter for him with that turn. Now he already has a straight. Is Ankush going to try it? Will he? Will he?
Wow. Well, just decided to pull back at the last minute.
Actually, the last minute, like, could have been on the turn.
Yeah.
But it was like... Yeah.
I'm sure he would have gone into his time bank as well, but here we are. I think he realized that he just went on for a bit too long.
Yeah, that's only you can claim Mozzie. That's fine. Try and keep buffing him.
Well, both players holding the same hand, although Mozzie's hand is suited. And yeah, it's definitely about playing the players more than it is playing the cards. So we should see some interesting stuff.
Which has been your most interesting heads-up match that you've seen over these years?
Wow, there've been a whole bunch, but I don't know about interesting. But I think the longest one that I've seen was in a live scenario in India was way back in 2011, I believe. There were two players who, shall we say, were not the very best of them. And I think that heads up went on for close to 4.5 hours. So that quickly started from interesting to very, very not interesting, given the length of that heads up. But yeah, that was one of the more memorable ones.
Nice.
Gaurav Sood. I'm sorry, please.
I was saying it's painful when you're like the chip leader and the other person has, like maybe just 10 bigs and they just keep doubling up.
Yeah, just out of reach.
Yeah. Oh, GG.
Wow.
Oh my
and
God.
Just as we said,
Sood.
that was the end of that hand. And well, Gaurav Sood, sure enough, he's shown what he's made of, proving his mettle at this final table. He came in with one of those middle stacks on this FTS Kickoff final table. and he made sure that he got there in the end. Gaurav Sood is the winner of this particular tournament. He takes home 14.39 lakhs for that prize up top, along with a game face banner and a special gift hamper, that 18-carat gold medallion, of course, which Sam Razavi has his eye on. Unfortunately, we've not had Sam on the live stream because of some technical issues, but he will be joining us in the course of the coming week, sure enough. But in the meantime, Gaurav Sood, Mozzie 17, is going to go and celebrate that win of his. We're going to try and see if we can get him on a call. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes to connect with him, so we can let production know. But Muskan, any final thoughts as far as the final table went? I think clearly both of us were very impressed with Amit More, the way he went about his game.
Of course, Amit More was this underdog who, gave everyone a good fight. Because anybody who knew these players before would be like, okay, even though Arjun and Gokul are short, they have a better chance of doing, and going all the way. But these other boys, they played some solid poker, and some of them left us speechless. And Gaurav Sood, like always, proved it that he is the man to watch out for, and he's actually, he's someone you need to learn a lot from. I can't wait to get him on the call. I wished him luck also before the FT started, and I actually took it like a joke that, I know he's going to ship it, like he doesn't need luck. And this is exactly what he did. Like, he was, just watch this, Peter. Now, everyone is like, usually when people ask you like about the later stages of the tournament, like people, even Kevin said that, please relax. There's nothing that you have to do extreme. If you see, there's nothing that Gaurav Sood did extreme throughout. Like, he held his hold, and like he was like, he had everything, like everything was so simple, and you understand? So there was nothing that super complicated or a big bluff or anything like that. He just has his concepts clear, and I guess that is what end game is about. But everyone on the table, on the final table, actually played really well. Congratulations to all of you for such a nice and big payday. And this is just a warm up. I hope to see you again on the next final table, probably.
Yeah, that's the thing with all of these people who are playing these FTS events. You see a lot of familiar faces repeating themselves on these final tables. And why not? Because you have that FTS leaderboard, the points that are there to be played for. So it's something that everyone has kept in mind. In the meantime, though, I have got Gaurav Sood's number, and we're just going to try and connect with him in just a minute.
Hello.
Hi, Gaurav. Peter here.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Good, man. Just give me a second. We're going to just test your sound levels, and then we can have a quick chat with you.
Sure.
Okay. Can Gaurav hear Muskan's? I'll have to relay it. I'll relay her questions to him. All right. Gaurav, first of all, fantastic display, man. Congratulations on the title win. What a great start, to the FTS series.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was the FT was great, and like I had a lot of pressure at the start in the sense that I was one of the middling stats, but it all worked out. Won some crucial flips, played some played decent, I guess, and won a couple of flips here and there, and just chipped up nicely without endangering my tournament life that much. Yeah.
Right. At this point in time, we had basically spoken to, the commentators were basically chatting about the fact that one of your opponents on this final table, Amit More, that's Tiburon, was one of these guys who was playing very, very tricky. Who did you feel besides, the obvious suspects like, Arjun Pasricha? Have you played with Amit More, for instance, a lot in the past?
So, I've played with mostly all of them. I had a couple of notes here and there on most of them. Just Amit More, for example, like was obviously Amit More and Ankush that ID. Were just playing unconventional for sure. Like for a bit, I could not figure out what they're doing. But it's all like when you see the showdowns and all, you can just figure out some patterns which they follow, and then you can trust on that and just go with your strategy. I changed a lot in my strategy as such.
Right. Muskan was mentioning to us that she wished you good luck at the top of the final table, and very casually said that, I'm sure you're going to take it down.
Yeah.
Well played, Gaurav.
I've got Muskan on the line. She says, well played.
Thank you, Muskan. How are you?
And tell him that he has to, I'm good, and tell him that he has to fulfill his promise very soon.
She says, thank you, and that you have to fulfill your promise, whatever that promise is, very soon.
That's a given. I told her, we talked, after PSL, we're doing it.
Well, fantastic. So there's a double celebration in store for Gaurav Sood here. Muskan, any thoughts as far as any particular question that you want me to pass on to Gaurav?
Nothing else. Just what is his, how will his approach be to, the upcoming tournaments, especially the big ones?
So Muskan's asking, and sort of playing off of what you mentioned earlier, Gaurav, that you changed your styles a little bit on this one. What she's asking is, how do you intend to sort of acclimatize and change your style for the bigger tournaments that are coming up in the schedule?
For those, I don't want to change my strategy at all. To be honest, I'll just go with what I'm starting. So basically, players who are playing conventional or they're starting on the same lines that I'm starting, just more or less.
Right.
So I don't need to really change the strategy a lot. A lot of the change in strategy and the adaptation happens in these big field tournaments where you actually come across a lot of recreational players as well in the end game, and you have to adapt to that and not really take spots which are very marginal and so on. So for the high roller and the bigger tournaments, I'll just be studying more and being on it. Yeah.
Lovely. One question that I always like to ask, especially regs as yourselves, because you've done so well in the course of your very relatively young poker career. I'm sure you must be feeling like a jaded old player right now, but it's still a relatively young poker career. But what I want to ask you is, what have you sort of come across in terms of a resource, a website, some kind of a training tool that you would recommend to someone who's perhaps starting out or maybe in their intermediate sort of level of play? Is there something in particular that you would recommend?
So in today's poker world, there are a lot of stuff that you can just there's a lot of free content out there, first of all, and then even if you have some money that you can devote towards poker training or learning more about the game, I think a lot of videos, I do a lot of training with BBT Poker, so they have this very good video, intro to quantitative strategies. Is a very, very good starting point for all the people starting out, or they're playing mid stakes or high stakes. Everyone can have a takeaway from that video. It's that good. So I would suggest that, and Run It Once membership is the Bible of poker for me, at least.
Well, there you go, folks. Words from the wise winner, I should say, with Gaurav Sood, aka Mbozi17, who was chatting with us. He's taken down this FTS title. Gaurav, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Well played, and enjoy the rest of your evening, celebrating, I'm sure.
I'll be playing the FTS schedule today.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'll be celebrating after FTS, I guess.
All right. Well, Muskan once again is making sure that she's keeping your promise on top of your mind. So I'm sure all of those multiple celebrations are going to come through.
He's always busy with series, and then he keeps winning, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm busy with PSL, then he's busy crushing
Thanks a lot,
PSL.
Muskan.
Well,
Bye.
that's it from Gaurav Sood, who was kind enough to join us after his win. He's going to go get back to the grind at the FTS. The schedule, of course, comprising of plenty of tournaments. So if you like poker and if you want to get a piece of this action at the Final Table series, get on to SpartanPoker.com, get yourself an ID, and take part in this series, which promises 10 crores in guaranteed prize pools. Today's winner, Gaurav Sood, aka Mozzie17, claiming top prize of 14.39 lakhs, a game face mask, a special gift hamper, that 18-carat gold medallion that's not really his but Sam Razavi's, and of course, many points for that FTS leaderboard that could potentially pay 10 lakhs to the winner. So there's a lot of stuff that's to be played for. So get in on the action. And yes, get into our live streams where we will be coming to you every evening of this coming week and bringing you all the action and fun from the Final Table series at the India Poker Championships event here on SpartanPoker.com. As we sign off, I'd like to say thank you very much to our commentators, Muskan Sethi and Sam Razavi, for the short time that he was here. Thank you to both Muskan and Sam. We will see you on the other side with the next live stream that will take place tomorrow evening. So in the meantime, it's goodbye from all of us here.